Well, hi Leos, welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It is time for your weekly reading. I have shuffled these cards very well. I'm going to shuffle them just a few more times. This is a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be in the middle of the first part of the reading. Also, I'm going to start doing doggy readings. I have a doggy tarot deck I've been studying. And they're only $10. They're one-part readings. So if you're interested, the information that you need is in the description. All cards are male or female. If this reading does not resonate for Leos, maybe check your moon sign or get a private reading from someone you trust. Okay, the overall energy, Leos. Page of Swords. You're on guard. You're hyper aware. You're watching your surroundings. You're listening to your surroundings. And you have your sword up in self-protection. You're not really swinging it, but you will if you have to. Let's find out why the Page of Swords surrounds your entire reading. Up here in your highest energy is the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands is about communication. I feel like somebody's trying to come back in by communicating with you. And you're very much on guard about that. This is through texting, emails. It can be video chat, phone calls, for that matter. So I feel like you're on guard. Someone's trying to come back in. You're really not sure what to do. You have the Four of Swords next to all that communication, right above the Page of Swords. This is very spiritual. It feels like you're kind of like doing some soul searching. You're really doing some deep thinking, meditating, praying about what to do in this matter. What is best for you? The Page of Cups is right next to the Four, and it's a very deep healing card. So I think you've already been doing healing over whoever it is that's trying to come back in. Okay? So I have the Page of Cups next to the Four of Swords. This is like what you were getting, and you're wondering if it's going to be the same old thing, is what you're wondering. There's a fish in the cup. This can be the card for Pisces, so Pisces might be strong in your chart, or someone else is around this reading. But it's an immature love. It's a tainted love. There shouldn't be anything in the cup. So, you know, they probably have some feelings for you, but they weren't really acting like they loved you, because I just don't think you were totally satisfied with that relationship. And here they are. You do have feelings for them because this is the Three of Cups, but what do you do? I have the Two of Wands right next to the Page of Swords and right under the Page of Cups. You are holding that staff of fresh starts and new beginnings with one hand, and holding the world with the other hand. You're like contemplating what it looks like moving forward. How should you move forward? You know, how do you want your life to look and feel? So your guard is up. You're remembering things. You do like them a lot. You probably are in love with them, but it wasn't working out because they weren't all in like you wanted, like you were. And you know, I got the Three of Cups here. They're coming back in. I think they're saying that they're leaving whatever toxic energy was attached to them behind. See the Devil waving goodbye? This is all about toxic energy. It's like being tied to somebody. See the chains that are tied to someone else or something else. Well, I think that they're trying to say that they've left that energy behind. Now they want to come in and try again. But you really need this conversation. You really need to think about it. You really need to talk about it, and you are on guard about it. This is a card for Capricorn only because of those horns. That's it. But the energy is toxic from this card, the Devil. So that's why your sword's up. You know, it wasn't what you wanted from a relationship, even though you had feelings. I have the Ten of Swords under the Page of Swords and next to the Devil. So this is the end. All those swords are about truth and clarity, and I think you're going to get it through a lot of conversation here. It puts an end to you having to be on guard It puts an end. They're saying they ended it, whatever it was with this toxic energy here. So, but you're not really truly fully trusting that situation here. So you really need to, you know, get as much truth as possible. I have the Hangman next to the Ten of Swords and under the Two of Wands. So this is, you know, you're just kind of like, you're in a state of healing and trying to figure out what to do with your life, how to move forward. The Hangman is here. This is the card of enlightenment. So the Hangman, you know, it's basically saying that all this is going to come to an end. And you are going to figure out how you want to move forward, what type of life cycle that you see ahead of you. Let's take out the second part of this reading. Let's see what else it is you need to know. For Leos. Leo's universe. Wow. Okay, so I have the Six of Pentacles next to the Page of Cups. You know, this is breadcrumbing because they didn't have it within them to return the love that you could give to them, okay? So the Six of Pentacles is being breadcrumbed, and it's just like barely feeding enough to the relationship to try to keep it going. Well, boy, are you on guard about all this. You're becoming so aware of everything that's been going on. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting with the Seven of Pentacles right next to the Six of Pentacles for this relationship to take a turnabout, to become grounded, to become stable. You're just waiting for it to come to fruition. So, and you're still waiting up here. It's, you know, this breadcrumbing. There wasn't enough love, and you kept thinking, you know, that this is going to take a turnabout, that things are going to change. I have the Emperor next to the Seven of Pentacles. Now, this is a card for Aries. Aries might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But this is about being firm. This is about being stubborn in such a way that you're, you know, we know you're in self-protection, and I think you're going to hold out. I think you're going to be true to yourself and what you want and moving forward. And I think you're going to be pretty stubborn about moving forward with this person if you decide to do that. So the Emperor, very well liked, very well respected. That is your energy, but it just means that Aries could be in your chart or around this reading. So, under the Six of Pentacles, I have the Three of Wands, and that's right next to the Two of Wands. So yeah, you're wondering if your ship is still out there, you know, because the Six of Pentacles, you know, isn't working for you. Your guard is up. And there's 3 ships out there, and you're wondering if your person is still on a ship that hasn't come in yet. So this goes with the Two of Wands. You're really up in your head. You are, it's like these quiet times that you spend on your own. These thoughts just go through your mind and through your mind of truth and of clarity. It's almost like you're finally seeing everything for how it is, and you're starting to disbelieve that this relationship has any chance. And then they try to come back in and say they dumped the toxic energy. And then you're faced with another dilemma to be up in your head. You know, so you will seek that truth and clarity through conversation. You will. I have the Four of Wands next to the Nine of Swords and under the Emperor. So they are a soulmate. They're a divine soulmate. So you've probably known them many times in many lifetimes. Now we have so many soulmates out there. And you know, we've known or met or dealt with all these different souls from other lives. No, even if they look different, it's when you look in their eyes, okay? You make that connection and you're like, I know you. But you don't, not in this lifetime, but you do from a previous lifetime. So that's what a soulmate is. There's a lot of them out there. But you were thinking that this person here, you had high hopes that you would end up in a committed, grounded, loving, and joyful relationship. But you're so disappointed. And these thoughts of truth and clarity are like coming to you, and you're deciding you're gonna stick up for yourself. You're gonna be true to yourself. I have the Four of Cups down here next to the Hangman and under the Three of Wands. This is them trying to come back in. You know, I don't think you're going to go for it. I think you're going to wait for another ship. I think you're going to move forward on your own, because I do not see you reaching for that cup. This is them trying, saying, I'm sorry, you know, I can do better. You know, this may not be the first time, too. I've got Four Cups here. So this just may be another offer of, I'll do better, I'll try again type energy. And you're just like, you got your arms crossed. I don't think you want them back. I think you're kind of done. Even though you love them. And I just don't think that you trust them, that you trust that they can be the type of partner that you need in your life. This Four of Cups is right next to the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is right under the Nine of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles is Earth, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn that might be strong in your chart, their chart, or around this reading. This gives us 2 for Capricorn, if we're counting. But, you know, you're really looking at that pentacle, and I just think that you think that they can't do it. They can't commit. Even if they're saying that they can, or trying to present themselves like they can, I think you're learning that you really have lost faith that there's ever going to be a chance for a committed relationship, a solid and grounded relationship here. So you really want someone who is solid and grounded, wants to be a partner in your life. Right next to the Queen of Pentacles and under the Four of Wands is the Eight of Swords. Now this is a card, it's really an illusion because the feet aren't bound, the mouth isn't bound, and you're surrounded with truth and clarity. I feel like you kind of ignored a lot of red flags in this relationship for a while because the truth and clarity was all around you. And so, you know, the truth and clarity about wanting a grounded relationship and wanting to spend, you know, maybe get married someday, and there being lots of love and joy. I think you just kind of let it ride, this whole relationship, for a while, until you started to really, you know, notice, become hyper aware of what's really going on. So you're making the changes that you feel you need to make for your life, for a better life. And I think you're going to look out there and wait for your real ship to come in. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. The Ten of Wands. What a burden. What a heavy weight this has been on your shoulders. This whole relationship. Why do you want to go back there, right? So the Ten of Wands is right on the Page of Cups. It's right on the Six of Pentacles, being breadcrumbed. That was all a heavy burden. So what's good about the 10 is there's no 11, and you're going to be releasing that burden and letting it go. Looky here. I have the Arcanum deck, and I'm going to pull out another clarifying card from this deck. It's going to go right between the Seven of Pentacles and the Emperor here. And if one comes out, that's your card. If one doesn't, I'll have to pull a card. So I'm going to shuffle them a few times. It's a new deck, very slippery. There it is, right there. The World. Beautiful artwork. I love this deck. It just doesn't show up real well on camera, so I don't use them for full readings. But the World card, and here you are hanging on to the World, you are going to enter a new life cycle. You are going to hold true to yourself, and you're going to wait for another ship to come in. And it goes right there. You're tired of waiting. You're going to hold true to yourself. You're going to move forward, and you're going to look for, you know, the right ship for you to come in. So, Leos, this is your reading, and I thank you for watching Universal Guidance Tarot.